we take a look at who is most likely to replace Kevin McCarthy.
And get ready to blast off with some space rockets, making a very slow trip to the Science Museum. That story and more coming up.
Annenberg TV News is next.
The violence and loss of life are intensifying on this fifth day of the war in Israel. Hi, I'm Marco Ramirez.
And I'm Hanah Abualhaj. The number of Americans killed is rising, and authorities believe U.S. citizens are among the hostages. The U.S. Department of State announced that at least 22 American citizens have been confirmed dead in the conflict between Israel and Hamas. This is an increase from the previously reported 14 on Tuesday. Israeli fatalities have surpassed 1,200. The attacks have forced many to flee their homes in Gaza. The United Nations reporting over 263,000 people displaced. That number is expected to increase amid ongoing airstrikes.
The USC community gathered last night to mourn the deaths of over 1,200 people killed by the U.S.-recognized terrorist group Hamas.
This is not some distant, far-away thing. This is happening right here. Israel lives in my heart. Israel lives in my spirit, and by looking at everyone who is here today, I know Israel lives here, at USC in Los Angeles, millions of miles away.
Speakers from numerous USC organizations led the vigil. About halfway through, demonstrators raised signs in support of Palestinians.
Most of these people coming out for Free Palestine this current time around is blatant anti-Semitism. At the current moment, I find it hard to justify a reason coming to vigil for lives, innocent lives lost. I think the lives of innocent people that are lost, regardless of Israeli or Palestinian, is very sad. I personally believe that we're all on the same page.
USC President Folt has issued a stronger worded statement about the war in Israel. This follows criticism regarding her initial remarks on Sunday, which some believe did not fully denounce the attacks. In her new statement, the president said, quote, "We condemn the terrorist attacks by Hamas and their brutal threats to execute, kidnap civilians, and commit other atrocities. We asked one USC Jewish religious organization their response."
In the wake of the tragedy unfolding in Israel, President Folt's first statement did not resonate with students. They felt angry, they felt upset, they were grieving and mourning. And so that's why President Folt, amending that statement and actually condemning the acts of terrorism that were happening, was affirming for students because she was seeing them and hearing them. And all that being said, I think there's still a lot of work to be done to make Jewish students feel fully safe and seen and understood on campus.
The conflict between the Israelis and Palestinians stretches all the way back to the early 20th century. At that time, both groups were fighting for the same territory in the Middle East. In 1948, after World War II and the Holocaust, the State of Israel was created. During these conflicts, almost 1 million Palestinians were displaced. There was an attempt to make peace in the 1990s, but that fell apart. Most Palestinians now live in the occupied West Bank and Gaza Strip. Middle East experts worry about what's ahead.
So we might be in a new phase right now where there is really no negotiations taking place. There is no peace on the table, where each side has pretty much taken it on their own, in their own direction.
Experts also emphasize Hamas does not represent all Palestinian people. The House of Representatives will not vote on a new speaker today. This comes just hours after Republicans voted to select Louisiana Representative Steve Scalise as their nominee. The acting House Speaker Patrick McHenry announced the chamber was recessing. This allegedly allowed Speaker candidate Scalise to rally his votes. This comes as an attempt to avoid another messy floor fight like the one seen last week after former House Speaker Kevin McCarthy was ousted.
Last week, right after McCarthy was originally deposed, it didn't look like Republicans felt a particular urgency to pick a new speaker. They obviously wanted to put a new person in charge, but felt like they had a decent amount of time in which to make that decision. But then, after the attacks in Israel over the weekend, that added a sense of emergency to the proceedings.
It's unclear when the vote will happen. Scalise needs almost all of the GOP's support to become Speaker. As of now, the House is essentially unable to operate without a Speaker.
The California Science Center got a special delivery for a new exhibit. Reporter Madison Hogue followed the route of two huge rocket engines.
Over a dozen years ago, these solid rocket motors launched the Endeavour shuttle into space, and they are going to be reunited. Today, hundreds of people lined Figueroa Street to watch the motors inch their way to their new home. The motors are the last piece of the entire spacecraft to come together for the new exhibit in the California Science Center.
It's a dream 3 decades long that when we built our Air and Space Center, we would include a space shuttle in launch position to really show the awe of the system and allow us to talk about the science and engineering involved in getting into space.
The Science Center will be the first to feature a space shuttle in its upright and ready-to-launch position.
Hopefully it inspires people like the space program inspired me when I was a kid to go do something in the field, whether it's astronaut or whether it's an engineer, doctor, you name it.
The kids sure looked inspired as the motors passed by. The trucks drove at a speed of less than 2 miles per hour from the Mojave Desert, ensuring that the 116 feet tall motors stay safe.
So if you just took the wings off a 757, that's about how big they are.
And these big engines still work and may be used again.
These same boosters are going to go on Artemis, which is going to the moon, hopefully someday going to Mars.
Back here on Earth, the new exhibit will launch in 2025. For Annenberg Media, I'm Madison Hogue.
USC students hoping to move into Hub LA FIG will have to wait a little longer. They have been relocated yet again, this time to another apartment building. As they settle into that new housing space, tensions are high. Since the start of the semester, construction has been ongoing at Hub FIG. Student tenants have been spending their semester in hotels, including the USC Hotel. This week, they're being relocated to the Lorenzo, a student housing complex in downtown LA. Students say they are fuming.
They notify us like 1 to 2 days before something major happens, like having to move out of where we live into somewhere else. I also feel like everything they've been doing has been really unethical, lying to us. If you call them on the phone, they're like, no, we were for sure have JW booked out for the rest of the time, and then they don't.
What I think was worse about the situation was the short notice, because all of your stuff is in your hotel room and then they tell you, hey, you've got three days to get all of that together and move out. So I think it was rather rude and also unprofessional.
Hub FIG has given tenants about $200 a day in stipends to cover food and transportation for the time being. While the new move-in day is projected to be November 4th, the Hub LA Figueroa did not respond to Annenberg Media requests for comment.
California Governor Gavin Newsom signed a bill on Monday granting college students free access to rape kits and transportation to and from sexual assault treatment centers. According to the U.S. Department of Education, there were 1,777 reported incidents of sexual violence across California post-secondary schools in 2021. According to the latest USC DPS annual security report, there were 112 reported incidents of sexual violence across both of USC's campuses. USC students will have access to arranged transportation to sexual violence treatment centers and forensic exams via the Confidential Advocates program at the health center.
Governor Newsom also has banned 4 major additives found in popular candies like Skittles. These additives have been reportedly linked to cancer and other health issues. These additives are found in many foods, but experts say they do not have to be Skittles made in Europe that are not made with these additives. One expert says these components can be easily substituted.
But we don't need red dye number 3. Red dye number 3 is not the only way to make things pink and red. There are other alternatives that proven to be much safer, which I think is, speaks to, number one, the plethora of they're synthetic or natural or some combination of the two. There's sometimes a lot of pushback from industry.
The law will ban the sale, distribution, and production of the foods with these 4 additives. The additives are brominated vegetable oil, potassium bromate, prolyl, probin, and red dye 3. The foods affected by the new law include beverages with citrus flavors, antimicrobially preserved foods, baked goods, Peeps, Skittles, and even Tylenol. Experts say it's most likely those items will change, not disappear.
Coming up, we are live from the closing event of USC's Latina Heritage Month. Stay tuned for music, food, and performances coming up.
The USC band takes its 50th trip to visit the Fighting Irish as they face the Trojans this weekend.
And Holy Pumpkin, we take a look at the world's record-breaking pumpkin.
Fushigi!
Fushigi, I don't know what it is, but it's the coolest thing ever, and I can do it.
Hi, I'm Tim Goey, and this is Fushigi. We're going to show you how to unlock the secrets of Fushigi, the magic gravity ball. No strings, no tricks. Magic? Maybe. An illusion? You decide. You can make Fushigi defy gravity and appear to float in midair with maneuvers like the prayer cross, the enigma, levitation, and so many more. It floats, it levitates, it will confuse the senses with its mind-blowing movements. Young or old, big or small, anyone can Fushigi from the minute they pick up the magic gravity ball. And with a little practice, you can conquer Fushigi.
This is so amazing.
I think it's fabulous.
I get it now.
Everyone loves Fushigi, and you don't have to be a magician. It's relaxing, even therapeutic. Best of all, it's just amazing.
It floats.
It's awesome.
Fushigi.
From basic maneuvers to the advanced, even control more than one Fushigi at a time. You can do this. Mystify, amaze, and confuse your friends in just minutes. Now it's your turn to master Fushigi.
Fushigi!
It's sick. It's so much fun. I love it.
It's amazing!
I love it!
Me too!
My grandson, he's 16, he would love one of those. I want to buy it now.
Fushigi. Call now to order Fushigi.
Today is Noche de Cultura, the closing event for Latinx Heritage Month here at USC. Reporter Ethan Huang is live from Founders Park. Ethan, how is the feeling out there?
Thanks, Marco. Well, it certainly is lively. As you can hear, we can have music, plenty of free food to go around, lots of booths, tons of great performances and speakers. Everyone here, students, we have faculty, and we have alumni. Tonight's event, titled Noche de Cultura, is a celebration of this month's theme, Unidad, Prosperidad y Cultura, which translates to unity, prosperity, and culture. Special guests include USC President Folt and actor Edward James Olmos, among several student speakers. We talked to some students a part of Greek life who set up booths at this event.
It's really awesome that a university like USC can actually do something like this and actually, even invite local community within here that come from these backgrounds.
I think it's super cool that USC, outside of events like this, that celebrates a month, or a month focused on our culture, essentially. They just allow places like La Casa or like LSA or organizations that are dedicated to catering to students that basically, it provides them a space on campus, you know what I mean? So that is year-round for us.
Well, today we have student musician Lily Guzman. You were performing just on stage just earlier today. Thank you so much for joining us.
For having me.
So to start off, could you tell me about your music group?
So we are Mariachi Los Troyanos de USC. It is a student-led organization that was founded, I think, 2 or 3 years ago. So yeah, we play Latino music, specifically Mexican regional music.
And going off of that, kind of how is your performance and the music that you do kind of a reflection of your culture and your heritage?
I think what a lot of people struggle with, or especially students, when they are here in California or here in the U.S., they tend to lose a bit of their heritage and lose a little bit of their culture. But I think we as an organization help to bring it back. A lot of us have family members who were previously mariachi, so it's kind of a generational thing too. And I think we really shine a light on our culture.
Well, thank you so much for joining us today. We really appreciate it. Well, this event runs until 6 o'clock tonight, so they are closing up, but if you're near Founders Park, be sure to stop by.
Trojan Marching Band plans to travel to Chicago this weekend, marking the 50th anniversary of performing at the Notre Dame halftime show.
The intersectional rivalry between USC and Notre Dame is the longest standing rivalry in college sports. So being able to join the band, travel to Chicago in my very first year, that was huge. That was impactful for me. And even if I wasn't pursuing a career in band directing or wanting to be a part of this band in perpetuity, I knew at that moment that I wanted to continue participating with this organization.
The band plans to rally alongside the Trojan family at Navy Pier this Friday before the start of the game. This tradition dates to 1973, the first time they performed at Notre Dame.
It's my last year in band. My first trip out was with Notre Dame. My second to last trip will also be out to Notre Dame. So I'm really looking forward to a win, just to close it out, get a nice sort of bow tie out on my time with band.
I'm super excited to go with the band, and I'm just in general really proud of all the opportunities that the band gives us for travel.
Notre Dame is a big rivalry for USC, and I'm just excited for the energy and for the team to show up and win.
The marching band will fight on at Notre Dame University at 4:30 on Saturday.
This past weekend, the LA Vegan Fashion Week showcased cruelty-free brands and plant-based textile innovations. Reporter Tom Legrand talked with students to see if they can identify vegan products.
What material do you think this bag is made from?
I would say probably leather.
Leather? What if I told you it's a vegan leather?
I have no
It's made from cactus.
Oh, really? Yeah. Wow, that's super cool. Yeah.
What kind of material do you think this bag is made from?
Leather.
It's from leather. It's from a vegan. It's a vegan leather. What do you think it's based from?
Plants.
What kind of plants, if you had to guess? It's a fruit.
I don't know. Pineapple.
No, it's actually from apple.
Really? That's so cool.
That was a good guess. Made to last, this product is highly durable and resistant to water, abrasion, rubbing, and tearing. For Annenberg Media, I'm Tom Legrand.
And speaking of outfits, it seems like students should really start thinking about those Halloween costumes because it looks like some towns are prepping for the spooky season. Erika, did I hear something about a pumpkin contest?
Yes, Hanah. Trick or treat, 'tis the season for jack-o'-lanterns. The Half Moon Bay 50th Annual World Championship Pumpkin Weigh-Off welcomed growers of all ages from the U.S. Travis Ginger drove his pumpkin all the way from Minnesota. Can you guess how much it weighed? Just under 3,000 pounds, setting the world record. What do you do with a 3,000-pound pumpkin? Someone is going to be eating a pumpkin pie until next October. It may be spooky season in Northern California, but let's see how October is treating Southern California with the current temperatures. If you are to step outside right now, it is 73 degrees and sunshine, clear sky, a lovely evening to go take a stroll down through the quad. And then going into the 5-day weather forecast, it is evident it is still staying nice and warm, high or low 80s. Throughout the week, basically. Tomorrow, it's going to be sunshine, cloudy in the morning till around 11 o'clock. Friday, same thing. It's a little bit cloudier, so it's going to be not as sunny, but going into the weekend, the sunshine comes right back up. Saturday, Sunday, Monday going high up into almost the 90s on Monday. So if you're in town this weekend for your fall break, Trojans, take this time to kind of reset, recharge, unplug from your social media, catch up on your sleep, and plan out your next steps for this semester. And if you're going to Indiana this weekend, it is going to be cold and rainy. Make sure you're bringing your 4-leaf clovers because, Thomas, which team has the luck of the Irish in their favor?
Well, I can tell you who's going to be unlucky, and that's the players on the field because it's time for a rainy football game. Alex and I talk about this year's Notre Dame USC game. And women's volleyball heads up to the Bay for a pair of big matchups. And it might be doom day for the Dodgers as they face elimination tonight against the Diamondbacks. All that and more next on ATVN Sports.
I'm working for an hourly wage. I went to high school, didn't do great. Still I gotta make more cash. More education is what I'm looking at. When I get a degree, I will make a bigger salary. So now I've got to see which college is right for me. I went on the internet and found Education Connection. I took some free tests to find out my direction. I'm taking my classes online, getting my degree on my own time. Education Connection matched me with the right college for free. Get connected for free with Education Connection. Get connected for free with Education Connection.
Log on now and get your free success kit worth $100. Log on now to educationconnectiontv.com. That's educationconnectiontv.com.
There's a new pet.
Chia.
Chia Pet, the pottery that grows. It's fun and easy. Soak your chia, spread the seeds, keep it watered, and watch it grow. And now grow a whole collection of fun with chia teddy bears, puppies, kittens, rams, bulls. There's even a chia tree to keep your pets company. Chia Pets and Trees, the pottery that grows.
The Chia Pet and Chia Tree are available at Kmart, Rite Aid, Ames, and Woolworth. Makes a great gift.
Welcome back to ATVN Sports. I'm Alex Buettgen.
And I'm Thomas Johnson. It's time for another rivalry game. USC football takes on the Notre Dame Fighting Irish this Saturday in South Bend. The 6-0 Trojans are coming off a near upset to the Arizona Wildcats, ultimately taking home the 43-41 win in triple overtime. The Trojans trailed for the first time this season, coming back from a 17-0 deficit. The 5-2 Fighting Irish are coming off a 13-point loss to the Louisville Cardinals in one of the larger upsets in college football this year. That was the only game this season the Notre Dame defense had allowed more than 17 points. So, Alex, the Trojans are actually coming into this game as the underdog. Do you think that's a fair assessment?
I don't think so, Thomas. I think that the Trojans are obviously the better team. We have the better record. We've played better. Yes, Notre Dame has 2 losses against ranked opponents, and those ranked opponents are pretty good teams, but I think that USC should be favored just because of what our offense can do and what our record is.
I mean, it's tough on the road and in a rainy game in South Bend, Indiana. It's going to be tough, but I like what you're saying because the USC defense is actually doing a lot better than people suggest. They only gave up 28 points in regulation this game against Arizona, so I think people are underestimating the Trojans a little bit. The game is scheduled to kick off at 4:30 on the West Coast at Notre Dame Stadium. USC opens as a 3-point underdog according to Caesars Sportsbook.
Saturday night's matchup between the Trojans and Notre Dame will mark the 94th meeting between the two schools in the battle for the jeweled shillelagh. The Fighting Irish currently lead the series with a record of 50-37-5. The Trojans have also had bad luck when traveling to South Bend, as they have lost in the last 5 trips to Notre Dame Stadium. However, the Trojans have gotten the better of the Irish this century, as they have won 12 of the 22 matchups since 2000. This includes a streak of 8 wins from 2002 through 2009. USC also brought the shillelagh back home last year with a 38-27 victory at the Coliseum. From the legendary comeback game in 1974 to the Bush Push in 2005, this rivalry has produced many legendary games throughout its history. However, this Saturday in South Bend could be one of the best ones yet. And from the gridiron to the court, the USC women's volleyball team is headed to the Bay Area this weekend for showdowns with number 3 ranked Stanford and Cal. The Trojans are currently 11-5 on the year and are coming off a series split in the desert last weekend as they fell to number 23 Arizona State but defeated Arizona. However, the Trojans will be facing their toughest opponent of the season in the 13-2 Stanford Cardinal. The Cardinal are coming off a 3-1 win over number 4 Washington State and have not lost in conference play yet. This will certainly be a tall task. However, the Trojans have more than enough talent to pull off the upset. You can catch those games on the Pac-12 Network on Friday at 8 and Sunday at 2.
Well, that's all we have for ATVN Sports today. I'm Thomas Johnson.
And I'm Alex Buettgen.
Over to Marco at the monitor.
Surprise, it's me instead. But don't worry, grab your sheet music and get ready to play some music. We take a look at the USC Thornton Symphony's annual concerto night.
I've replaced your shoelaces with fruit by the foot.
So you did. I replaced your fingers with fruit by the foot.
Bravo. I've replaced your bones with fruit by the foot.
Indeed you have. I replaced your guitar strings with fruit by the foot.
Seems like a step backwards, but alright. I've replaced your DNA with fruit by the foot. That would be end game, my friend.
Fruit by the foot. Fruit-flavored snack.
Are you guilty of driving while talking on your cell phone?
Hi, Billy Mays here for the Jupiter Jack. The most convenient hands-free device for any cell phone, guaranteed. Plug it into any phone and mount it on the dash. Preset your radio to 99.3 FM and you're ready to go. Jupiter Jack transmits quality sound through the speakers in your car. Instead of hearing music, you hear the other person. No plugs, no wires, no hands. Call now and get the Jupiter Jack for just $40. Order right now and we'll cut the price in half. You'll get the Jupiter Jack for only $19.99. As a bonus, we'll also include the Jupiter Jack phone mount. It mounts easily and adjusts to fit any shape or size phone. Just pay separate shipping and handling. That means you get the Jupiter Jack and the phone mount, a huge value, all for just $19.99.
Have your credit card ready and call 1-800-346-5231. But call now. We're giving away a bonus dashboard mount with all of today's orders. So call 1-800-346-5231. Call now.
The USC Thornton Symphony musicians are warming up their instruments for the annual concerto night. They will play several classical pieces by famous artists like Ernest Bloch and Philip Spark. 3 talented student soloists will be in the spotlight. The concert, conducted by artistic director Carl St. Clair, is a big boost for the students who will be accompanied by the entire orchestra.
All 3 of us won the concerto competition last spring. And that sort of determines who performs for the annual concerto night. And so tonight is that night, and we're all playing the works that we won the concerto with.
This is gonna be a huge milestone for me. Definitely such a wonderful opportunity, and I'm so honored to be here playing with Maestro St. Clair.
You can see the abilities of the soloist.
For the student soloists, preparation began long before the fall semester started.
The concerto competition being in the spring, I had to pretty much start preparing last year. I would say definitely around the new year when it came. From there, just ever so slowly bringing it to performance level.
Every practice is kind of like workout, and also make sure you have the power to play against orchestra. Not against orchestra, but play with orchestra.
The euphonium is so unique. Yeah, for audiences, so you can see abilities of the euphonium, and then you can just enjoy the music.
You can see the performance tonight in Bovard Auditorium at 7:30. Admission is free and open to all. Thanks for watching Annenberg TV News, and we hope everyone has an amazing fall break. From everyone at Annenberg Media, I'm Hanah Abualhaj.
And I'm Marco Ramirez. For more coverage, like and subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/Annenberg Media. Good night.